Well, hey up and welcome to the video. And we're in the Peak District. I've just parked in the village of Hartington in the Peak District, and what a faff that was to park up. And now I looked on the website last night and you could pay by card or cash, so I thought, great, I'll pay by card. So I got into the car park, what was probably an hour ago, and went to the machine. It only took coins. You can pay to park by phone. So I got my phone out. I thought, okay, got my phone out, and no signal. Oh God! So I had to drive out of Hartington to go up somewhere high to get a signal. We're here today to build some compositions, and we're taking a walk from Hartington to Beresford Dale and Wolfscote Dale. Now this is a location that I found on Google Earth. It's not what I'd say is a famous Peak District location. It's not what you hear people talking about, and I've not done a great deal of research on it. I've watched a walking video of somebody taking this walk, and I thought there looks like there's enough interest to take some compositions, to build some compositions. So that's what we're doing in this video. We are building compositions, and just got the cows actually. I think they've just been for milking, bless them, and they're just behind me coming from the milking shed, having been demilked, and now they're going off to eat some more grass. That's what they do. Big rock there, big stand-up rock in the river. Is that worth a shot? Is there a potential composition there? I'm looking at it. There is, but do I want to take it? How nice does it look or not look? Got the reflection in the water, and yeah, now by nature I'm a reflector. And as you can see, a reflector has to think about things and maybe research things, and sometimes dither. A reflector kind of stands back and assesses what's in front of them. So I've ended up here with a few, 4 shots I took here, and I started with a vertical, which you can't see because it's the wrong way around on the camera, just to get some reflection in. But the problem I've got is the brightness in the sky. I didn't realise in my imagination that the sky was that bright. So I have took 3 other shots, one wider shot showing the surroundings that this stone is in, the wider view. Then I cropped in, which will probably be the square crop, and then I took another one, zoomed in slightly to the right, showing some reflection in the water. And this is where the reflector comes in from me, because I'm not sure which image I'm going to settle on. Okay, throughout this video we're going to stop and critique the images that I take, and I'll talk you through what I like about them and what I don't like about them and whether they've worked or not. So let's look at these images of the upright stone. Quite unusual this. This was the full frame on the camera, and you can see the sky is very white. It's very burnt out in this image, and when I saw that on the back of the camera, I thought we're going to have to do some cropping here. So I did do a square crop, which took a lot of the sky out, and it's an okay image. Nothing too exciting, really. It's a standard shot, not very good light. We did another slightly wider shot with a bit more of the surrounding in, so there's a nice tree reflecting in the background there. But again, it's okay. So we finally decided that this was the better composition. So it's more of a letterbox crop. There's a little bit missing from the top of the rock, but I can live with that because we've lost the white of the sky, and we've got some nice reflection in the water. So out of that sequence of shots, this would be my preferred choice. If you want to put any input into this in the comments, you're very welcome. If you want to use the word crap, you're very welcome as well. Now, what we didn't consider here as a reflector, I should have reflected more on the reflection in that water, and you can see here from the video the reflection's looking quite nice, and I think it's possible that I could have got a better shot incorporating that reflection into the composition. Now I'm going to go back in autumn because I think this is going to be a great autumn location. The only problem then is we might not get a reflection because the water might be flowing a lot faster in autumn. But yes, I should have considered more, I should have reflected more on the reflection in the water. Okay, we've come to another bridge now, and we don't cross over this, we carry straight on, and we've actually got a sign to help us that does say Wolfscote Dale National Trust, and we can see already we've got the limestone gorge starting to appear at the side of us here, and there's a little cave at the top there. I might have to have a look at that actually and see if that's worth using in a composition. Phew! Right, I've come into this cave and it's a lot bigger than I thought. You could have a small party in here. It looks quite solid. I don't think anything's going to drop down on me. The floor is very slippy and smooth, but what we do have is a bit of a view looking out the cave. Let's have a look at it. So we've got these holes in the rock, 2 holes there, and we've got a very large hole, and it's giving us a natural view outside. It's giving us a composition. So I pretty much knew what I was going to do with this straight away. I was going to use the cave wall to frame in that view, and we've got the landscape opposite nicely lit up at the minute. The only downside to this shot is the wind. Everything's moving in the wind that's got up, so we'll get a shot set up here, but this is quite simple because really the frame of the cave is giving us the frame of the composition, but I might go quite a way back because the inside of the cave looks quite nice, So I might include the shiny floor as well. And I'm pretty sure later, when more people are around, a few people will be in this cave cooling off. So let's get set up. What I really enjoy about exploring a location is that you can sometimes find something that you obviously didn't expect to find. And this composition now that I've got, I am really liking. So I've took some shots with the 24-70, but now I've put the 14-24 on. You can straight away in the frame of the camera, you could see we've gone 14mm. We can now see all three of the holes in the cave, and that's making for quite a nice composition. I've included the rocks, the slippery rocks on the floor, because I really like the textures in those. So I think this could well be the best shot. Now, I've not worried about freezing the action of the trees behind. I'm quite happy for them to be a bit blurry, because this is probably all about the cave. And I have bracketed this shot. I've hand bracketed, so you can see if I've took it right down there to probably 2 stops under, and then we've gone a couple of stops over to get the detail of these rocks in. Very nice this. If there was better light, obviously on the landscape, it's not bad. That would give us a better shot, and obviously if there's no wind, we would be able to probably focus stack this as well. We'd probably be able to focus, get the inside of the cave nice and sharp, and also get everything outside on the landscape nice and sharp. But I'm not too worried. I like this. I love the 3 holes that you can see. I might just recompose a little just to change it there, but that I do, I like that a lot, and it's really, as I said, it's rewarding. I might not have walked up here to this cave, I might have walked by it, but by just coming up, I found something that I'm really pleased with. So I'm going to take a few more shots here, probably going to take a vertical one next, because we've also got the ceiling of this cave, which looks quite interesting. So here's those shots, those sequence of shots that I've took here, and I didn't need to use much imagination here. This was an obvious, and sometimes you do get obvious compositions that just come together. Okay, this cave was awesome. Really enjoyed this session. There was a bit of ancient wall art in the corner of the image that you can see. I'm not sure what they are, but we'll take them out in Photoshop, because they're a bit distracting to the image. So we'll remove them in Photoshop. Now, what I didn't like about this shot was the kind of triangle of sky in the upper part of the image, and what I should have done here was try and reposition to get that out of the shot, and that's what I'm going to have to do when I revisit this cave. But otherwise, I like the textures, I like the lighting in the cave, and actually the scene beyond, where we've got the river, the path and the trees, do look quite nice. I mean, if you were selling this as an estate agent and you were selling that view, I'm sure you'd sell the cave. But yes, that triangle of sky, for me, spoils the shot. We did do a vertical shot, got more of that slippy floor in, and it is slippy. Blue sky in that triangle this time, and still slightly better, but I'm still not happy. I really need, when I go back, to reposition maybe a little bit higher, angled down, to get that sky out the frame altogether. When we put the 14mm on, yes, I really love this shot. Loving the light in the cave again, and the 3 windows, well, 1 doorway and 2 windows, look really nice in the shot. Again, we've got that triangle of sky, so I really need to work on that next time. And I think when I'm at 14mm, it's going to be harder to manoeuvre a shot to make that disappear. I don't know. I can't wait to go back there actually, but it's going to be autumn, because you can imagine the trees in the view there, in the big window, when they've got autumn colours on them. Them colours will complement the colours inside the cave. Did another shot, more of the roof, still got a little bit of sky in. Then I moved round a little to the left, and although you can't see it very well, there is a tree here, just one dominant tree, looked nice in autumn, and this did virtually make the sky disappear, and we've got a wider shot as well, so that would be very nice in autumn. And again, I need to adjust this one, go a bit higher to bring more of the river into the frame, into the view there. But yeah, and this one you can see here, we've gone 70mm on this shot, and that does put the tree more in the frame. So I really need, when I go back next time, I do need to spend more time here and really make sure I'm really nailing the compositions. And yeah, it's about spending time, because I think if you're rushing around, you're not going to end up with the right shot. It's right now to look at this and decide what you need to do when you go back. Well, thank you, cave, and there's a nice little view from here of the gorge, quite nice. There's obviously some shadows where the sun's not quite getting through. There is a path going up, and I'm kind of tempted to go up here. While I've climbed so far up, do I go all the way up, or do I actually leave that for another day? You will probably get some really good shots from above, but I think because this is a first visit, we're going to stick to the lower ground just for today. Right, as I'm getting closer, I think I've got a composition I can see, I can imagine, that I'm going to take. Now this tree's out of the way, we've got the path below, and then we've got the limestone on the left there, on the upper left. I wasn't entirely happy with this shot. It's very plain. There was no light on the left hand side, so we've really had to post-process more light into this left hand side. It's a very standard shot, to be honest, but not that exciting. It's not that exciting. So I want to talk about AI. AI has come to Photoshop Beta, and I downloaded it and I had a play, and I watched a couple of videos on YouTube where people were really excited by it, and I wasn't that excited by it, to be honest. I thought it's okay, it's a novelty, and it's going to wear off, and for me it's not going to be part of my post-processing at all, because I think it's making such dramatic changes to the image. It's not photography for me. I'm purely more interested in capturing a very natural scene and only using the normal sliders that we have in Lightroom and maybe a few in Photoshop. Now you've noticed here there's a castle appeared in the scene. That does lift the scene, don't it? And I asked AI to put a castle in there, and I didn't ask for a UK castle, I just asked for a castle, and you can see it's not really put a castle in that fits into the Derbyshire Dales, but it's done a pretty good job, and when it does do a good job, it's quite impressive. You can see it's even got the light coming from the left hand side of the castle, and the light was coming from the left hand side. So as far as what it can do, it does a great job, but my concern would be that photographers are going to use this and they're going to mislead us. Can you imagine if I put this image on Instagram and somebody looked at it and said, we're going there, let's go there tomorrow, that looks great, that castle, we're going to get that shot. So they go there, they try and park up, they've got no reception on the phone, they drive 3 miles up the road, get reception, pay for the parking, come back, walk into Wolfscote Dale, get to that point and go, yeah, where's this castle then? It's not, it must have been an old photo, the castle must have been knocked down. Look at the small print on Instagram. Oh, this castle was created by AI. Misleading. It's got a place for people, probably more in the creative world. Certainly, I think people working commercially with certain types of images are going to love it. They're absolutely going to love it. For me, as a sort of base photographer, then I'm not excited by it. Whilst I was putting my camera away, I happened to look up and I've got this view of the sun coming through the trees and lighting up the grasses. And I thought, let's put the camera back on the tripod and let's take a few shots here. And I'm hoping that I can process these to look quite nice. I should do, I've bracketed again, but I quite like that. And looking at it on video, it's the wider shot that I think works. Maybe if the sun was more to the left, but now as I continue to walk down the gorge, I'm gonna now be looking up, seeing if there's any more opportunities, because there is more trees above us, and I think that could give us some nice shots. Composition here, water feature on the left, we've got the path on the right leading us off into the distance, and we've got some trees, and then we've got the gorge in the upper part of the image. And it's a blue sky shot, isn't it? It's like this is a shot that if somebody said to you, what does Wolfscote Dale look like, this would be a typical shot to say it's got a river, it's got a limestone gorge, it's got a path going through the middle. Yeah, makes a nice shot. Be a nice shot for some stock photography, or make a nice print. I might just take this tree shot. I've got the sun behind it again. There's loads of lone trees up in this gorge that will make subjects, particularly with the right light, particularly with a longer lens. And I just like that configuration of those trees, but I need to keep the sun behind because it's very, very bright at the minute, and I think this is going to be the last shot, if I'm honest. The light's catching the grasses again. Bit of a pattern today, isn't there? We're looking up to get a shot as opposed to looking down, but this light now is very yeah, let's make this the last shot of the day. I think this final shot's going to be black and white. I really think it's going to work because of the harsh light, because we've got these clouds going across. I'm not even going to bracket, I'm going to leave the trees as silhouette, and hopefully we can bring the grasses. I don't know whether you can see the grasses are lit up by the sun because of the angle that the light's coming down at. We are seeing those grasses make a nice shot there. So we're on ISO 200 at the minute. I'm gonna drop the ISO down to 64 f11, and I can't see where I'm focusing actually because of the light shining in my face. We're focusing in the bottom of the image, and this is probably going to be a square crop. Let's just do a wide. I'm going really wide now to get the sky in. Just try that. Let's see how that comes out. Now the sun's gone behind the cloud, not lighting the grass up. Because this camera, as I've said in many of my videos, is high resolution, we can take a wider shot like this and then crop in. And we've got some really moody sky now. Dark, looks like dark rain cloud actually. It's not. I was really pleased with that last sequence of shots, and element of luck here. If I'd not started looking up earlier on, I probably wouldn't have thought of looking up and getting these kind of shots. And the cloud as well played its part. If those clouds hadn't have blown over at that point, I wouldn't have got the dramatic light and the effect. Nice character in the trees as well. Something to go back and shoot. However, I think we've got to remember that in autumn and certainly winter, when the sun's lower, we might not get these shots at that time of the year. But unusual, but very pleased with those images. Very pleased. So we'll end the video there. We'll have a quick slideshow, a quick recap of those images, and again, if you want to give me any critique on the images, you're more than welcome. And as I said before, if you want to use the word crap, you can. But thank you for watching. Thank you if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you're very welcome to subscribe to the channel. It's free. I'm never going to ask you to buy me a coffee or any other membership scheme on this channel. So yes, you're very welcome to subscribe. Not filmed the next video yet. I'm still trying to get to the coast. So the next video is either going to be the coast or maybe a Peak District. I want to get a Peak District sunset in somewhere. Okay, here's a quick recap slideshow. I'll see you later. Okay, we have cows on the path, and hopefully they're interested. Ooh, I'm a bit close. They're interested in the grass and not me. To the left of me we've got the electrified fence, It says it's electrified. I'm not sure. All of a sudden I feel like I'm a farmer. Move on. Move on. I think they'd give a mighty kick, wouldn't they, if you upset them. Good morning. We're safe. Apart from the fact there's another 20 in front of us.